now we are going to start on the interior process, just basically cleaning and vacuuming pretty much. And in here you can see me basically vacuuming, and I have a brush in the other hand brushing the carpets, and this allows you to get those dirt and little pieces of rocks that are embedded into the fibers of the carpet. It brings it up so that way you're able to vacuum it out. So I wasn't able to get through all of them, but majority of the dirt and little pieces of rocks that got stuck, I was able to get them. So just want to show you guys, this is probably about 20 minutes of just vacuuming. So I wasn't able to get out everything because they were definitely embedded in the fibers of the carpet. But for the most part, it is clean. All right, you guys, busting out the steamer. The major things I want to hit is definitely the center console right here, and definitely the steering wheel, which I want to clean because I got a new steering wheel cover going over it. So give it a good wash or steam. There's this too, and then there's, I don't know what that is on the inside, but got to get rid of that. There's also this stuff on the seat. You can see the door jambs. A lot of stuff that needs to be steam cleaned. Okay, you guys. I don't know if you can tell, but the light on top is off, so that means that it is ready. Okay, so it's not terrible, but it could get a little hotter. And on top of that, I think I need like a little something sharp, or maybe spray some chemicals on there and clean it with a brush or something to get the rest of those out. But for the most part, it did pretty dang good. And here for basically the next few seconds, it's just me going around the car and just steam cleaning the door jambs and the seats and this little pillars. So anything that was plastic or leather, I basically steam clean and wipe down. So that way I know that everything's kind of clean, disinfected and all that stuff. So yeah. All right, so this is the aftermath of the steaming. As you can tell, it's still a little bit of wet, but came out way, way cleaner. The seats have stains. It didn't have it everywhere, just here and there. Especially the door jambs. The door jam are really nasty. And you can see everything's pretty clean. The only thing I missed was the top of the dash right here, but I'll do that. Tomorrow's getting late. But check it out. Alright, so this is what the little box comes in. Comes in with some little thread and a needle on it. And then the steering wheel cover. Alright, so this one actually has like a little suede on the outside. So usually I get the leather, but leather during the summertime, your hands get hot and it's wet, it doesn't tend to grip as well. So I opted for the suede, just so if my hands are sweaty, I can still grip the steering wheel. So doing this does take a little bit of a learning curve. You do have to be flexible with working with the thread and needle, but for the most part, I think anybody could do this. All right, so this is how it looks. I got the bottom finish, and all you're doing is, since these already come kind of threaded on the side right here, you're just going to be taking the needle, going from one end like this onto the other end, and you're just pulling it tight. And that's all you're doing. Once you get to the edge of these things right here, you're just going to tie it off, cut it, and then restart again. So you don't have to go through every single hole, but they do give you enough threads that you could go through every single hole. So I think that's what I'm gonna probably do, just go through every single hole. And yeah. And here, all it really is just getting down a rhythm. And once you get that down, you'll be finished with this in no time. Okay, you guys, just like that, I am done. Feels really nice in the hand. And the only reason I chose to go this route instead of the other one with the wheel coverings, just kind of go over, and sometimes they're loose, sometimes they move around, and they're big and bulky. So that's the reason why I chose this, to you kind of just sew over it. It's a lot slimmer, feels really nice, and it looks a lot better than the other one. And here we're just going to quickly spray these down with some degreaser and cleaners, and then pressure wash them. So here's just me spraying it with some carpet cleaners. This was the old bottle that I had just sitting around, and a pressure washer. I do wish that I had a brush wheel with the that you could attach to your drill and do that, but I didn't. So I just tried to pressure wash this and as much as I could, pretty much, and it still came out looking pretty decent. So I'm not mad at it. Okay, so they're not exactly perfect. I do wish I had a brush to a drill attachment that I could go ahead and brush it. But I admit they did came out looking way better though. Alright, you guys, it's a beautiful day back at the junkyard. Trying to get some headlights. They just got a new car in last week, and then they're running a special this week for headlights. So $14.99 for a pair of headlights. Just one side, I mean, but that's still pretty damn cheap over here. So let's get to it. Here we are. And as you guys can see, both sides are still pretty clean. I'm wondering if I should just scoop up both sides. Well, actually, this one has minor crack and stuff. Looks like cracks on the inside. I don't know what these stuff are. It looks just like dirt. There's a little cracking, and this is the side that I needed to replace too. Let's see what I want to do. All right, you guys, so just want to show you guys, this is what I picked up. This one's a little dirty, but a little polishing and sanding should clear it right up. So got both of these after tax and everything, came out to $34. So not bad at all. Also was able to get some little minor pieces, like this right here. This is for the shifter, just covers so dirt won't get inside. The other one broke, and I was able to get like just little screws and little light bulbs for the instrument cluster, because mine went out on those. So all right, let's do it. All right, first things first, you're just gonna take out whatever stuff you don't need, like this, and then start with those two screws and take this portion off first. Oh, also you have to pull the e-brake up. That way you can slide this thing off. And from the junkyard, I was able to pick up another clip right here too. So go ahead and put that on also. All right, and so here, what you want to do is take out those two screws. I know it's kind of nasty, but once you take those two off, you should be able to just grab this thing and just flip it out back. But first, we're also gonna loosen this the screws for this shifter right there too. All right, so for this one, it's just a Phillip. There's actually two holding it down. So what you want to do is just loosen it. And it should pull right up just like that. The screws can also come out too, so make sure you don't lose it if they do. All right, once you get that done, loosen those two screws. What you want to do is now disconnect this connector right here. And this connector actually holds power to everything right here. So that's why you want to disconnect it here, so that way you can just pull it out. All right, so next what you want to do is take the two screws off of this. Also, this is the light. If you guys ever need to replace it, this is the light. It's just a twist on. This one's obviously burnt out. You can see all black, so that one's getting replaced. But yeah, so it's just these two screws, and then you should be able to lift this up and go ahead, and it's just a clip, so we're just going to pop this open and then replace that black strip right here and put everything back, and we should be good. All right, and as you guys can see, this one is all torn up. So that's trash. And this is the newish one. Let me get it cleaned up and then I'm gonna throw it in. So I was able to replace that light. It's in. Now I'm just gonna put everything back and tighten it down. So one thing about the junkyard is that's where you could practice and learn how to take things off correctly. If you break them, it's not too much of a worry, you know. That's one thing. And then the other thing is you could get extra parts from there too, working parts. So it's nice, you know, just to go out there and just try to have fun with it without, you know, worrying about breaking stuff. And one thing I really like about this car, especially when you're disassembling and putting everything back together, is that these pieces are only held in with a couple screws. So it makes it very easy to take off and on. And on top of that, they fit right back in. So it works. Okay, so next, the lights for these right here were dead. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off and show you guys how you could replace them. So here it's just only two screws underneath, and then you can go ahead and just pop off that piece holding the stereo deck and all those knobs. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward, and it makes it very easy to do this. And now that we got all that, there's only two bulbs, one right here, one over there, and you could just plop them out. There's another way where you could go actually behind the whole unit and do it, but since I already got all of this and I don't want to deal with whatever's back there because they got cables and all that stuff, so I'm just going to go ahead and switch out the light bulb here. Just in case you're wondering how I basically maneuver my way to learn about how to take this parts off, is basically I learned it from the junkyard. I wasn't too sure, but I tested on the car at the junkyard, and that's how I learned. And that's also how I was able to take off some of those pieces and salvage those and bring those back to put in my car. So that includes like the light bulbs and all that stuff. So I kind of got lucky there that the other car that I took it off from, everything was still working. Because in here, none of the interior lights were working. Alright, just like that, we got working lights, y'all. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but it's definitely on. Let me turn it off. There we go. It's fixed. Alright, time for the wash, you guys. So here is, oh, you guys can't really tell. It's not as bad as when I first brought it in, but let's clean it up. All right, you guys, here we are. Here's the equipment, and we're about to get a little pre-soak. So at this point, you guys can see that I'm getting pretty close to getting this car done, and that's when, you know, the car wash is coming in. So there's still just only a few more bits, you know, to figure out. But I figured now is a good time to get this car a good car wash. And my original plan was to take it to the car wash itself and, you know, just pay the $15 $20 or whatever and just get it ran through. But I figure this will be a good chance for me to, you know, get some really deep cleaning done. Because remember, this car has been sitting for at least 5-6 years. So I figure hand washing will probably be a little better. But after I finished everything, I definitely regretted hand washing it because after the next day, my arms were super sore. But overall, if you guys check it out, you know, I think I did a pretty decent job. I wasn't able to get everything because majority of them were stuck, but for the most part, if you're looking at it from a distance, the car looks really good. So yeah, a little bit of washing could go a long way. And as you can see, I'm doing the windows, the outside and the inside windows. All right, finally done. It's not perfect. It's not 100% perfect. I ran out of energy, but for the most part, I got it done. All right, you guys, we're about to take it on another test drive. This time we're taking it on the highway, see how it performs. Last time I was just in the neighborhood, so we're probably going around maybe like 25-30 miles per hour, maybe 35 max. But this time I'm trying to get up to highway speeds around 65 miles per hour and see how that performed. Not only that, but I still have the diagnostic monitors to finish up. So the only two monitors I have left that are not done is the oxygen sensor and the catalytic converter. So those are the only two that I got left. I'm gonna leave the OBD2 hooked up and we're gonna take it on a spin and see how that does. So right now I'm at the stoplight right before the highway. On the off ramp right now, trying to get onto the highway. We're at like 50 right now, and I can feel the car shaking a little bit. I mean, these tires are old, so we might be needing new tires. I mean, we will need new tires. All right, we're at 60, 65, 70. I mean, the engine and the transmission is performing flawlessly smooth, but the suspension wise, I can feel a lot of vibration from the road, probably from the tires. But so far so good. Temperature is not going up. We're cruising right around 65, 70 right there. No check engine light codes, none of that. Car is definitely shaking a lot though, so we definitely need to replace those motor mounts. Okay, you guys, good news. That little trip, the oxygen sensor monitor is okay now. The only incomplete we have left is the catalytic converter, which is usually the one that takes the longest. And with that, this concludes part 4. Don't worry, part 5 is coming out, so stay tuned for that. And I just want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.